All right, Ms. McCarthy here. What I'm going to do today is show you how to get started making your project ready for Friday. This is the Building Historic Background Knowledge assignment that is due, the blue packet that you got. And I'm going to show you how to do it as a concept web because that's just kind of how my mind thinks. So I'm using bubble.us. You don't have to use that. You can just draw it out. You can even write it as an outline. It starts with my topic right here in the center, photography in the Civil Rights Movement. Next I'm going to fill in the other 6 things. Geography, history, economics down here, politics, society, and legacy. What you need to do next then is just to start to fill in things you already know. So I know geography, I'm going to be talking about Milwaukee, the north side and the south side of the major neighborhoods. Then I'm going to fill in the history. What is the history that I already know about this time period? I know Brown versus Board of Ed. I know Little Rock High School was integrated in 1957. I could also fill in information about the March on Washington, and that was in 1963. I also know that in 1963 JFK was assassinated. It sets the tone for what kind of time period this was in. I mean, there's a lot going on and people are angry, people are inspired, so all those are all important, and I can add more in more broadly what other things are happening around the world, including, I know I need to have in here the Vietnam War is happening. Then other things I would already know is that there's the hippie culture, youth movement, lots of young people, people protesting the war is stuff that's very common. All right, and down here under politics I filled in who was the president, and then after he was assassinated, who was the next president, and also the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And then I'm going to start to fill in, I don't know as much about the economy, and I certainly don't know the legacy yet. But this is just the start. This wouldn't be enough to turn in, so I'm going to need to start look for sources. So what I did in Google is I just searched society in the 1960s, which is fine to do. Shmoop is okay. It'll give you some background information. It's designed as sort of the quickie version of information for you. So not the best source. It's okay. Wikipedia, also a good starting point, but I know that this source down here, the Kansas City Library, is going to be a very reliable source. So it's got information on the 1960s. When I want to fill in economics, I'm going to look at what is the unemployment. It doesn't have a rate here, but I'm sure I could find that. It looks pretty important. And it's pretty remarkable that the average salary was $4,000 a year, which sounds incredibly low to me, but I'm not really sure. And you will notice when I go back up to the top that every single time period in the 1900s is listed here. And so it's not just culture, it's also politics, sports, and it gives me other sources to look at, and it tells me how to list this in my notes. And it's not the most up-to-date source, it's 1999, but with history, it's not like it's current events, so that's not quite as important. So now I've got more information that I can put in my web. U.S. News, that's a reliable source, even though it's a .com. It's a magazine. It's something I could use. So it's okay to just do a general search. Just be skeptical of what you're seeing and careful and looking at the .com or .edu, America in the 1960s. That'd be an awesome source. Princeton University, and this is going to link us to all kinds of other sources. Okay? Then we're going to fill that in here. And obviously a lot more detail since I'm giving you time to work in class on this, and it's due on Friday. So good luck with that, and let me know if you have any questions.